The quince is the sole member of the genus Cydonia in the family Rosaceae. It is a small deciduous tree that bears a pome fruit, similar in appearance to a pear, and bright gold and yellow when mature. Throughout history, the cooked fruit has been used as food, but the tree is also grown for its attractive pale pink blossoms and other ornamental qualities. The tree grows 5 to 8 meters high and 4 to 6 meters wide. The fruit is 7 to 12 centimeters long and 6 to 9 centimeters across. It is native to rocky slopes and woodland margins in Southwest Asia, Turkey and Iran, although it can be grown successfully at latitudes as far north as Scotland. It should not be confused with its relatives, the Chinese quince, Cydonia sinensis, or the flowering quinces of genus Genomelis, either of which are sometimes used as culinary substitutes. The immature fruit is green with dense gray-white pubescence, most of which rubs off before maturity in late autumn when the fruit changes color to yellow with hard, strongly perfumed flesh. The leaves are alternately arranged, simple, 6 to 11 centimeters long, with an entire margin and densely pubescent with fine white hairs. The flowers, produced in spring after the leaves, are white or pink, 5 centimeters across with 5 petals. Quince is used as a food plant by the larvae of some Lepidoptera species including brown-tail, Barculatrix beachsteinella, Barculatrix pomifolella, Coleophora cierizivarella, Coleophora mellivarella, green pug and winter moth. 4 other species previously included in the genus Cydonia are now treated in separate genera. These are Cydonia sinensis and the 3 flowering quinces of Eastern Asia in the genus Genomelis. Another unrelated fruit, the bale, is sometimes called the Bengal quince. Origins. The fruit was known to the Akkadians, who called it superglue, Arabic calcifagil, quinces. The modern name originated in the 14th century as a plural of quoin, via Old French quin from a Latin catonium malum, Cydonium malum, ultimately from Greek upper upsilon delta omega nu iota omicron nu mu lambda omicron news, Idonian melon, Idonian apple. Cultivation. In Europe, quinces are commonly grown in central and southern areas where the summers are sufficiently hot for the fruit to fully ripen. They are not grown in large amounts. Typically 1 or 2 quince trees are grown in a mixed orchard with several apples and other fruit trees. So were they grown in the 18th century New England colonies, where there was always a quince below a corner of the vegetable garden. And later notes in records of Portsmouth, New Hampshire and Newburyport, Massachusetts. Charlemagne directed that quinces be planted in well-stocked orchards. Quinces in England are first recorded in about 1275, when Edward I had some planted at the Tower of London. Cultivars. The cultivar Vrania nenadovich has gained the Royal Horticultural Society's Award of Garden Merit. Production. Uses. In food, some varieties of quince, such as aromatnaya and kuganskaya, do not require cooking and can be eaten raw. However, most varieties of quince are too hard, astringent and sour to eat raw unless blended. High in pectin, they are used to make jam, jelly and quince pudding, or they may be peeled, then roasted, baked or stewed. Pectin levels diminish as the fruit ripens. The flesh of the fruit turns red after a long cooking time. The very strong perfume means they can be added in small quantities to apple pies and jam to enhance the flavor. Adding a diced quince to applesauce will enhance the taste of the applesauce with the chunks of relatively firm, tart quince. The term marmalade, originally meaning a quince jam, derives from marmelo, the Portuguese word for this fruit. In the Balkans and elsewhere, quince brandy and quince liqueur are made. In Carolina in 1709, John Lawson allowed that he was not a fair judge of the different sorts of quinces which they call Brunswick. Portugal and Barbary, but he noted, of this fruit they make a wine, a liquor which they call quince drink, and which I approve of beyond any that their country affords, though a great deal of cider and perry is the may. The quince drink most commonly purges Europe in the Alsace region of France and the Valais region of Switzerland. Liqueur de coing made from quince is used as a digestive. Spain and Latin America. In Spain, the sweet and floral notes of carne de membrillo contrast nicely with the tanginess of the cheese. Boiled quince is popular in desserts such as the murta con membrillo that combines Eugenie moliani with quince. In Argentina, Chile, Mexico, Spain, Peru, Uruguay, and Venezuela, the membrillo, as the quince is called in Spanish, is cooked into a reddish, jelly-like block of firm, reddish paste known as dulce de membrillo. It is then eaten in sandwiches and with cheese, traditionally manchego cheese, or accompanying fresh curds. In traditional medicine, quince was mentioned among other plants by Avicenna, an Iranian philosopher and physician, in his book Canon to treat abnormal uterine bleeding. The phytochemistry of quince has been under study for several possible medical uses. Cultural associations. In Turkey, the expression "ivei yemek" is used as a derogatory term indicating any unpleasant situation or a malevolent incident to avoid. This usage is likened to the rather bitter aftertaste of a quince fruit inside the mouth. When a baby is born in the Balkans, a quince tree is planted as a symbol of fertility, love and life. Ancient Greek poets used quinces as a mildly ribald term for teenage breasts. Although the book of Genesis does not name the specific type of the fruit that Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge of good and evil in the Garden of Eden, some ancient texts suggest Eve's fruit of temptation might have been a quince. In Plutarch's Lives, Solon is said to have decreed that bride and bridegroom shall be shut into a chamber and eat a quince together. In the famous children's poem, The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear, they dined on mince and slices of quince. Toxicology. The seeds contain nitriles, which are common in seeds of the rose family. In the stomach, enzymes of stomach acid are both cause some of the nitriles to be hydrolyzed and produce hydrogen cyanide, which is a volatile gas. The seeds are only likely to be toxic if a large quantity is eaten.